Hey guys, just really quickly, I have Cyber Monday sale on my UI UX design course, and there's 60% off, so click the link in my bio to avail of that offer. And just to kind of briefly explain what Design Jam is, Design Jam is a weekly and daily, and possibly depending on my time schedule, Design Jam where I record myself designing landing pages, apps, posters, logos, packagings, anything really. Each design is just for fun and it's nothing too serious. So today's design jam is a little bit different from previous design jams. I just wanted to have like an open, honest chat about the importance of creating something every day and the benefits that can come from challenging yourself to create a design every day, a piece of art, a doodle, a photo. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you're challenging yourself every day. And it's actually something that I did back in 2012. I did it for a full year. I created a piece of art, or I just made something cool every day. And that could have been, I'll show you some examples here. I'll add this link in my YouTube. So when I upload it to my YouTube channel, I'll upload all these links. But yeah, so in 2012, I challenged myself to make something cool every day, and there's one piece of creative work made every day for 365 days, and it was a challenge that was difficult, and it had its ups, it had its downs. I guess the reason that I started it because I was in a job that wasn't really creatively challenging myself, and it actually, it got to the point where I was actually questioning whether, design was a career that I wanted to do. I was like, the job that in question was just mundane, banal work where it was just monkey work and there was nothing really creative or challenging for myself. So to keep myself sane, I challenged myself to create something for myself every day, and that could be a doodle, an illustration, a photo. And I suppose the light bulb moment or the inspiration for this was actually from an artist called Brock Davis, and he started his Make Something Cool Every Day in 2009. But it wasn't until around 2011 that I kind of stumbled across his work. And he's an art director, but it's just his work and his way of looking at the world and really kind of took me by surprise. And it was just like, it just really got my kind of creative juices going. And I said to myself, like, I kind of want to give this a go. And so I gave it a go. So like, just to kind of scroll through some of Brock's work here, he's got a really kind of fun way of looking at the world, you know, like his shattered series where he just takes objects that wouldn't really associate with shattering, like a Starbucks coffee, tissue box, a banana skin, rubber duck, a hat, card, and like, listen, I'm gonna put the link in here, and there's just so much fun and creativity within his series. And again, he did it for 365 days. He talks about it. I read an interview somewhere and he said, like, there was a lot of ups and downs. You kind of have to push yourself, and like there are days where you upload something that you're not really happy with, but you do it anyway because you challenge yourself. And again, he talks about the benefits of doing it. He got a huge amount of exposure from it. So like, he got like work out of it. He sold some of his illustrations, and he actually generated, I suppose, another source of income out of this by getting more freelance work and selling some of his art for prints. But again, the point of it wasn't to try and generate more money or more exposure. For me, it was more to do with just to kind of keep myself creatively challenging. Like if you're in a job that's not creatively challenging, then you need to do something to keep yourself creatively challenged. So this is my series here. I'll post the link here, but so there's over 365 pieces. Kind of, I really wanted to focus on trying different mediums and challenging myself. I'm not really an illustrator, but I just wanted to challenge, pen and paper. This is the piece called Dog Collar, um, 8 or 8, a hole in one. This is 9, and again, I wanted to. This is pen and paper. This is an illustrator. This is a photo piece I did. So you can see this is actually just paper scanned in. I really wanted it to kind of just just kind of not kind of, I suppose, just kind of sit back at something I'm comfortable. Like I could have easily have just done 365 days of taking a photograph. That's kind of not really that challenging, but I wanted to kind of, this is Wine and Spirits. It's kind of taken from the Pac-Man. This is Tic-Tac-Toe. This is a couch potato that I made. It's a couch made out of potato that I actually created. And again, I had the idea, and it was just a matter of trying to actually bring that idea to life. So I knew I wanted to create a couch out of potato. It was actually just getting a knife and just kind of going through 3 or 4 potatoes until I actually felt like it actually looked like a couch. And this got to the front page of Reddit and got a decent amount of exposure from it. And again, like if we keep going, there's over 365 images here. This is what's this one called? This is tea towel. So it's a teacup made out of towels. Really happy with that. So like out of it came a lot of various different kind of styles that I never knew I had in me. And people were reaching out. It was generating a lot of, I suppose, interest, and I was getting exposure, and people were reaching out asking me to do illustrations for them. I actually got a full-time job as an illustrator for a greetings card company. And this piece here, one of the biggest clothing companies for children in Australia reached out to me. They're called Rock Your Baby, and if anyone wants to follow my personal Instagram, it's Delahuntaram. So they wanted to buy the rights to use this for a commercial on one of their clothing lines that they're running for children. It was to do like with a kind of a rock and roll theme, and they just really liked the design. It's based on the Wild Ones, and there's that song. I can't remember. I think Hey I Heard You was a Wild One. I think it might have been Rihanna. I'm not too sure. But anyway, they asked if they could use it for their clothing, and again, they bought the rights. So out of this kind of series, things were kind of coming together that I didn't initially plan. I didn't plan to try and generate, passive income from it, or, find a new job. It just came from me doing something every day, getting better at it, people talking about it, and me sharing all of this work on my Instagram, and people engaging and wanting to know more about the series. This is pea, made out of peas. That's the F-bomb. What I really wanted to do, and what I really enjoyed doing, was just kind of playing around with different styles. And I was using Photoshop, I was using Illustrator, like I said, I was using pen and paper. And like by the end of it now, I was mentally drained, but from actually coming up with an idea and getting it to actually like a finished visual piece, by the end of the 365 days, it was almost effortless for me to do it. So there's huge benefits in doing something every day. It's like going to the gym every day. The benefits of that are massive. You have to eat healthy every day, and you have to go to the gym consistently as well to try and see results. And it's like this: if you want to become more creative and become a better designer, a better artist, whatever it is in your field, you need to do it every day. So I did this every day. Really enjoyed it, and there's massive kind of exposure from it for myself, and it's something that I never really thought that I could do until I did it. And then I was like, okay, what next? After that year, it was in 2012, you know, I wanted to challenge myself. Actually, this piece did really well. This is a type piece I did. It's the devil in the detail. So it's a kind of the devil and the detail split in half. So to challenge myself, a few years later, 2012, I did it. So 2013, and for the next few years, I didn't really challenge myself in terms of like creating anything creatively. But in 2017, I said, listen, I need to do something challenging. What could that be? So I gave myself the challenge of coming up with 5 ideas every day. So by the end of the 365 days, I came up with 1,825 ideas, and all these ideas were around, startup ideas and ideas for apps. You know, this one here, a horror movie app where movies are rated by users' heart rates. The app is synced to a wearable watch, and you find out basically where people's heart rates spike the most on specific movies. And the actual book itself did really well. I got voted number 2. I don't know if you guys know about Product Hunt. Sold quite a few copies, and I'm actually in the process now of just about to release in 2019 the second version. So I continued coming up with 5 ideas every day, and I will be releasing version 2 of the 5 ideas book. And also in 2017, I gave myself the challenge to try and read more. This was a big challenge for myself. So originally I challenged myself to try and read 1 book every month. And from someone who struggled to read 1 book a year, it was a big challenge for me, and I actually completed it. Here's the kind of books that I read. I'll put this link in below the video. And there's a full list there. You can kind of click through and check them out yourselves. And then again, I tried not to just read books that were comfortable to me. So like, you know, books on design. You know, it would have been easy for me to just kind of buy 12 books on design and just kind of flick through the photos. But I tried to kind of expand my knowledge into looking at books about growth marketing, really good book about life leverage, and that's about passive income, really good. I'll talk again in another video about passive income and the benefits of generating money, reoccurring money, and not relying on one source of income, because that's dangerous in itself. And I'll talk about that again in another design jam. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about, again, just kind of summarize what I talked about, just the importance of creating something every day. It doesn't matter really what your field is. If you work in finance, if you work in property, if you work in, obviously, you know, the creative industry, as long as you're challenging yourself every day, you will get better at whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So for me, it was trying to get more creative and become a better designer, because I was in a job where I wasn't creatively challenged. So to overcome that and to try and keep myself sane and keep myself, you know, enjoying design, I gave myself the challenge to try and create 1 piece of art every day for a year. And it's actually something that I completed. And if you go over to my Instagram account, Della Huntergram, you'll see some of my work that I continued on after, obviously, the creating something every day. Obviously, it wasn't something every day. It was like 1 or 2 to 3 pieces a week. And you can see some of those pieces over on my Instagram account. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that video. I mean, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget, click subscribe and the notification bell.